All right, what's going on? It's Bobby Skinner talking Giants, and this is your New York Giants Week 2 film review coming off of a wild 21-point comeback for the New York Giants versus the Arizona Cardinals. 29 plays, a big film review. It's going to be a long one. 15 offensive plays, 14 defensive, going chronologically, so there's going to be some bad defense to start. And hey, we got to clean that up. The offense, man, I cannot wait to talk about this offense, the Jalin Hyatt difference, all the other things they're able to do, how it opens up this offense. There's a lot of fun stuff to get to. Let's get into it. First, like and subscribe. We've got a bunch coming out on the channel. We've had a bunch come out. It's going to be a lot of stuff coming at you this whole season. These every week, offensive line reports every week. So make sure to like and subscribe. Appreciate you guys. It's been a fun week too. Let's get into it. So again, I told you we're starting with the bad, so we're starting on the defense. And this is good scheme by the Arizona Cardinals, right? So the Giants line up in what is a bear front, where you have the nose tackle, 2-3 techniques outside the guards, and then these players outside of the tackle and tight end. And the Cardinals pull the left guard and then pull the tight end too. So usually when that happens, that he's going to try and kick out Jihad Ward, and then the tight end's going to come in and lead block. But the Cardinals kind of see that, right? Because they see Jihad Ward levers, which just takes the outside shoulder of this, and Mckeithan fills, right? You got Nacho taking up a double team, good job. Like you just watch Nacho split this double team, good stuff. Mckeithan fills in this gap, but it's just kind of good stuff by the Cardinals, where this tight end sees, okay, he levered, he's filled. Instead of just trying to run it in there, the tight end moves out here. Running back bounces. Where it is bad is Jihad Ward. This is where the lack of, no matter how good of an edge setter he is, the lack of athleticism stops him from making a play, right? You know, a more athletic edge makes that play. He doesn't. Banks isn't able to get off this block. They seal. You got Adoree getting blocked, and they get out on the edge. And they get a nice chunk run to start the game. But I think that's a little more good. Like, that's some really good offense compared to, like, bad defense. Now, here's some bad defense. Cardinals get in a 3 tight end formation. 13 personnel. Play action. Running scissors. Post wheel. So, again, they get in this play action. The Giants are in a cover 3, right? So, Banks has this deep sideline. Pinnock has this center field. And then Adoree has this. But nothing's attacking here, right? So, the Cardinals get exactly what they want. And McKinney is supposed to play the flat on James Conner. The Cardinals get exactly what they want, though, is to take advantage of a young rookie corner in Deontay Banks. Because a lot of times in these cover 3 coverages, you turn your zone into man, right? Like he's taught, hey, chase the post. He's taught that if there is no other threat on the sideline. But Banks doesn't see what they're doing, right? So you have Zach Ertz, the tight end, and he's open on the sideline. And Banks chases that, and that's the exact look they get. That's the exact look they want. And Dobbs just overthrows it. So that's bad corner play. Now, good corner play from Banks is to pass it off, pass this off and play right here. Great cornerback play, and we saw guys like James Bradbury do this for the Giants, is to see that they're doing this right and just give this little right here and then flip and bait the quarterback into throwing that, and you get an interception. But late coming off. Now, you could say if it was type of man match, right? So like McKinney carries this up the seam with outside leverage. But again, I put that on Banks. Next play. And this is like, you got 3rd and 4, right? Wink Martindale, you're playing Josh Dobbs, not a good quarterback. And the Giants get in the 2 high safeties. And they do a 4-man rush and a basic cover 4, right? Where you have 1, 2, 3, 4 you know, Hawkins doesn't have the threat, so he's not bailing deep or anything. And then you have Simmons over here, McKay, and right here. And the Cardinals run a flood concept, which is attacking 3 levels, right? They are attacking 3 levels: deep, mid, low. And that's where the quarterback is reading, high to low. And because, hey, this is going to be occupied. You have to play this, especially on 3rd and 4. You got to cover the deep ball, Deontay Banks. So that's going to leave this sideline over versus these 2 high coverages, or open. And so Pinnock, he does a fairly good job of triggering down on this and playing it, but it's not enough. It's a really good ball by Josh Dobbs too. But still, you're able to just, I mean, he's sitting here in the pocket. He's clean. I got the look I want. Release it on time. Like, he's an NFL quarterback. Now, what you could say is Michael Wilson is not going to beat you over the top, and don't get into the back pedal quite yet. You know, kind of have your feet in the mud a little bit and ready to pounce. But still, it's just like I'm not a fan of that call more so than, you know, the safety play on that. Now here, there was all types of miscommunication, right? Like we talked about on that post wheel concept. So they get into a 1st and goal right here. They run a little slant flat up top. Easy completion, you get the 1st and goal. And this is where there's a lot of miscommunications, and a lot of time it's with Adoree'. So they run a slant flat, they're in man coverage. Now, a lot of times versus this concept, you're going to switch. What's called banjo coverage, where if you see that, Adoree' picks this up, Banks would take the flats. But they don't do that. But even more troublesome is Adoree' goes over the top on this, right? And I know he got beat over the top on a rub route to CeeDee Lamb, but there's a lot less space for that to happen in this. And you go over the top in this, and you pick Banks. You pick Banks off, and it allows an easy throw. And also Banks mistimes his punch. He gets his leverage outside. Good release by Hollywood Brown. Gets Banks leverage outside. So even if Adoree' doesn't, there's still a good chance they complete that anyways because of the, Banks being bad at the release on that. And then this next play, 1st and goal, they end up getting a touchdown. I want to talk about personnel. You know that Leonard Williams and Dexter Lawrence weren't on the field for the Giants on any of the 3 touchdowns the Cardinals scored? Any of the 3. I mean, this is the second drive of the game. You're 1st and goal. You have a bear front, which again is the nose tackle, 2-3 techniques, and then the guys on the edge. You have DJ Davidson, first game coming back from torn ACL. One, I don't know why Jordan Riley's not active and Davidson is. You've got Nacho. A'Shawn Robinson's better than Nacho. And then Jahad Ward, who's a good run defender, but I don't want him as my 3 technique out there on 1st and goal from the 4. And the Cardinals do a good job IDing man coverage by motioning this. So because the Giants are in man coverage, they're going to run split zone, which means this tight end is coming across the line of scrimmage. McKinney chases that. They work a good combo on DJ Davidson. Ward isn't winning his block. You got Mckeithan out here on the edge who's just not going to be able to compete with that size. And then you got Banks chasing this, and you get a walk-in touchdown for the Arizona Cardinals. Like, use of personnel, play call, the front, it's just all very confusing right there. Really confusing. Now, first play of the offense, and we are going to go a little negative. First play, it's mostly positive with the offense. This is where play calling is something that people say, oh, the play calling. I know there's whole Dable call plays. This is a play call I actually don't like. Right? And I'm going to give you a reason why. Because people just say play calling and they don't expand on what they're talking about. So this is a concept the Giants ran a ton last year, which is called mesh. And it's supposed to be a man coverage beater, but the way Giants run it a lot of times can beat zone coverage. But they are running it in a very different way than what they did last year. So the mesh is right here, right? This is the mesh point between Waller and Shepard. Now, Waller could have very easily gotten called for offensive pass interference, and to be honest, it didn't help either, right? If Waller doesn't run into this and just keeps it going, DJ's going to throw it to Waller, and they're probably going to have a first down. You know, so you can talk about play calling, but this is bad execution on Waller too, unless they are trying to get this offensive pass interference to free up Shep. But even then, they have this defender out here because they're playing zone, not man coverage. But also, you have Darius Slayton running deep on this. And I know they're eventually going to try and hit this deep. They ran it last week. They're trying to get them to bite on short stuff to hit this deep. But usually you have the Darius Slayton would sit right here, which, hey, would occupy this defender. Either occupies this defender. If not, then you just, you have this little hole right here. You throw it to Slayton on the sit route. But also, I'm going to critique this a lot. So when you get in third down versus the Cardinals, they don't blitz a lot. They sit back in zone, but they will get into these cover zero looks, right? Where they put all these guys on the line of scrimmage. So it's usually on the mesh, and I know I'm going through a lot right now. So you have the running back line up back here, and you run a rail route, which is essentially like a wheel out of the backfield. And it's supposed to be the first read of the play, but in reality, it's just kind of like check if it's there, because usually it's not there. But if you put Saquon back here, it kind of can get them out of this look because they're dropping back in the zones and stuff. But if you did that, you just throw this ball out to Saquon because you have this linebacker up in the A-gap. He's bailing this way where no matter what Saquon's doing, he's not watching Saquon. And you throw it here, let Saquon make a play. So if you see this mugged up look, mesh isn't the play to call, isn't the play to call. Because if they blitz, you're really not going to have time to throw that, especially when you don't have Saquon on the rail route. If you do have on the rail route, throw it. And I'm spending way too much time on this play, but I'm passionate about it. And if they're dropping into these zones, well, mesh doesn't really work against us anyways, right? Or if you do, it's going to have to be executed perfectly, and you get a sack. I know I spent way too much time on that, but I wanted to explain that. Let's not just talk about play calling. Let's explain it. All right, here, now the Giants line up in this cover zero look with all these guys on the line of scrimmage. We're manned up, right? Man. This isn't a third down. I wish the Giants would have done more of this because it just sped up Josh Dobbs' clock, led to him being inaccurate and making bad decisions too. This isn't a bad decision, but this is good stuff. So you're manned up. Now you drop these two players to protect yourself on the inside versus hot routes. But it speeds up Dobbs' clock. He's got people at his feet. He throws it. Inaccurate. And it allows these guys to be aggressive versus this stuff, right? So Karake knows. The rush is getting there. I see this. Go. I'm not going to be tricked with some go ball. And you see it from this end. Hey, you got 5 blockers, 6 defenders on the line. Do the math. Someone's coming free. Right? And a lot of times what they'll do, especially in Wink Martindale's, is it's a read from these defenders. Like if you are blocked, there's let's say there's 3 guys in the middle, right? So if they set to here, 1, 2, 3, and then they left one of these 3 unblocked, well, then Mckeithan would drop back. Right? So, and I'm not saying that's what they did on this, but still. But you see Mckeithan gets in on there. All right, next play on the defense. This is the Dobbs rushing touchdown. So the coverage is a basic cover 1. Again, you got man coverage across the board, so it's going to leave guys open. Very simple. Not much to break. He runs. There's there's no one in the middle of the field. But here's what I am going to say. Again, this is the first play after the first quarter. So they come back from the first quarter. And then Brian Dable challenges the call. You guys should be rested. Instead, we have on a first down, we have 2 run-only defenders, and DJ Davidson and Nacho on a 2-down set, along with a run-defending Jihad Ward. You have Nacho, who, again, not meant to rush the passer. You don't think Dex doesn't allow this lane to be open? or Leo, even Leo. Like, even Leo spins out of this. And then, I know the rules about hitting the quarterback are weird. Lay his ass out, McKinney. You can't let that happen to you. Can't let that happen to you. All right, we're back on offense. I'm telling you, we're getting ready to do some positive, but there's a lot of negative to start this game. The Giants were at a 60-0 deficit to start the game. This is the Daniel Jones should have thrown it to Jalin Hyatt throw. This is 3rd and 10, and he throws it to Saquon Barkley. Negative 4-yard play. So, the Cardinals on 3rd and 10 are in cover 2. You have this defender, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you only have 2 deep defenders. Only 2 deep defenders, and they're playing half the field. So, the Giants have 2 players, including Jalin Hyatt, who's fast as hell, attacking this one defender. And look at Daniel Jones. Does he have time to throw this? Absolutely. He should be pulling and this is 3rd and 10 too. This defense didn't, until the Giants finally did not respect the Giants to throw the ball past them. They're not even worried about it. They're like, okay, let's bracket Waller. We'll cloud down here. We're not worried about it. Make sure if Saquon leaks out, we get to him. And when you have Jalin Hyatt's speed, not only should you throw this, you should be throwing it here. And it's like, as soon as you see this, that they've got 2 defenders for 1, your head should be snapping back here and throwing this. So and DJ's got his eyes on this. But he wants to hit Waller, and he sees the bracket, like, he gets off of it, and then comes back to it and tries and scrambles. Again, when you have Jalin Hyatt, and we saw it. And this, look at this safety lose leverage. This safety loses leverage. Throw this ball. We're just out here. Put it out there for Jalin Hyatt. Let him go run underneath it. Because I promise you the safety's not making the play. I promise you the safety's not making the play. And guess what? The next time they run cover 2 on 3rd and 10, this safety's going to play Hyatt. Now we can throw the ball to Paris Campbell out here. So you just got to throw that. Escape the pocket for no reason. You had a clean pocket, negative 4-yard loss. If you didn't have a perfect second half, that could be the difference between winning and losing the game. All right, back on defense. So the Cardinals are in a 4-by-1 set. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. They motion the tight end. Get into a 3-by-2. Empty. And again, miscommunication up top. We've got a guy wide open. And we've got 2 players coming and covering a backup tight end in the flats. Now let's look down here and see what we got. What looks like zone coverage. We've got what looks like zone coverage down here. Now, here's the thing, is you rush 5, right? You rush 5 players. So, one of these zones is to be sacrificed. This zone or the flat. But you just got to have more awareness of what's going on. Like, if he's running a flat, you have to know. They're not running go flat. They're running slant flat. You have to have the awareness that that's what they're doing. You have to. And this guy missed a lot of tackles. I really do think there's some, I've listened to a show where they have some insight on the Giants. I really think this guy may be out of the lineup because of the missed tackles, because of the miscommunications. Again, why is this tight end running a flat versus off coverage? I mean, you just got to have more awareness of what's going on and what they're trying to do. All right. So I don't even want to break down this run. I just want to talk about this formation. I love it because what it does on 3rd and shorts, it essentially forces defense to play from light boxes. Now, they have all these people in the box, but they have 2 players deep, right? And you've got 9 blockers. So you've got, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, but you have 9 blockers. So you've got to, you're going to have an open gap. And you only need short yardage, so it doesn't matter how fast these safeties fail down. And it works, right? Get a nice first down. Pretty easy. But I just like it because what it forces defenses to do, which is essentially play light. Because guess what? You know what's going to happen? 1, they're going to have this end start crashing down, right? They're going to have this end start crashing down. And guess what? DJ's going to boot off of it. Once they see that on film, they're going to run this on the first drive of the game, some game, and they're going to see, hey, the end is crashing. The end is crashing hard. Boot off of it. And what they're also going to do with it is, remember that Bears game last year? They're going to have, Waller kind of do a little block and release corner where he's going to be one-on-one this defender. So this defender has to make a decision. Attack DJ or leave Waller wide open. And if they get real ballsy on the defense, then they just put everyone at the line of scrimmage. You don't think that they're going to check into... You see DJ checks on this play, right? Like, you're reading what they're doing. Check into it. You don't think you just... do a little play action, pop Waller out here, leak him out. So I just like it because there's lots of options. And it's a short yardage play, so even if it doesn't work, you just run it, run a QB sneak or whatever. All right. Here's the miss to Slayton. I know this is supposed to be fun, and we're getting there. I know I keep teasing you guys. We're getting there. Cardinals are in cover 6 or quarter half defense, which is like you've got cover 2 on this side and then cover 4 on this side essentially. So it turns into a cover 3, but it's just from a 2-high safety look essentially. What I like is having Campbell attack this safety to occupy him and not allow him to get over the top to Slayton. And just a really nice release from Slayton here. Slow play it. Bang, go. You got him. You got him. And with DJ, you got a clean pocket, man. You got to put that on him. Got to put that on him. And he doesn't. But at least we know, DJ's got some rapport with Slayton that we expect them to figure that out. All right, next we got a 3rd and 10. This is a completion to Waller. But here's what I love is this is a concept that the Giants and a lot of football teams work. It's pretty simple. It's called dagger. So you have Hyatt who's going to clear out, right? Like you must inside release, clear out. You're trying to clear out this safety, this player. And then you have Slayton, who ideally you want to get this ball to running a dig route because you're trying to clear out this space. And then you have the underneath defender right here who, if I'm Campbell, pop this out, right? You've got all this area. They do like they cover this on the front side, right? Like you can fit that. You can maybe fit this in here, but they cover this on the front side. Like, get out here, because you might get an easy first down. But what I love, the addition of Darren Waller allows them to. Again, they got this cover 0 look, so they're gonna when they pop out of the 0 look, guess what they're gonna do? Hey, we got 3 guys over here. We got to go cover these dudes. We got to cover these dudes, which is going to leave this area of the field open. And when you have a guy like Darren Waller, you tag a backside dig on this, and he's going to separate. He's going to get enough space, and DJ's going to fire it in on 3rd and 10. Bam. Good stuff. So that's what, like, the new addition. Like, yeah, they had good scheme last year, but now they have answers. And you see, you've got all this look over here. You know they're not sending all these cats, but DJ looks, right? And you see all these these guys bailing, right? So what I like about DJ is like he kind of sees post snap that that's not going to open up the way he wants. But the backside dig is get on it, put it on Waller, first down. Here, I want to show you the difference between Andrew Thomas and Josh's doo-doo at left tackle. Giants are running wide zone. Now, I love what they do on the backside with this, with Bellinger, where Bellinger goes and cuts this, and it allows Mckeithan to get out here and try and seal off this linebacker, especially as fast as the Cardinals linebackers play, and not worry about these two comboing, and Neal takes the backside. But on the front side, Thomas, and you guys have watched O-line reports, Thomas is great about widening out this gap, right? Because he's got that strong right hand. He'll get into that shoulder pad, hinge him out, and widen that gap. And Bredesen and JMS work a pretty good combo block, right? But Azudu doesn't widen that out like Thomas does, and it's not a big gain. Let's just say if this gap does get widened out like the way that Thomas would. There's a crease. Saquon gets through this. This gets sealed off, and you got Saquon one-on-one. And maybe he doesn't break that, and it's an 8-yard gain, or maybe he breaks that, and it's freaking a house call. All right, here's a Hyatt one. Let's just watch Jalen Hyatt's speed. Bam. Bam. All right, let's break it down. So this is kind of like the Giants-Yankee concept, which is the deep over, or the over and then the deep post. And I said, I did a preseason breakdown. I was like, hey, they're going to throw the post this year. They're just going to, right? And we talked about on that 3rd and 10 how they didn't respect the Giants to throw the ball deep. Well, guess what? They are running cover 4 with this safety down, disguising it. And guess what? Because the Arizona Cardinals are aggressive in their zone, they're expecting, hey, they always throw the over, right? They always throw the over. So let's cut off the over. Well, guess what? Motherfuckers, we got Jalen Hyatt now. We're not throwing the over. We don't got Marcus Johnson out here, my friends. We got Jalen Hyatt, who's going to take a track and then accelerate, bam, and he's going to run past your ass. And he's going to make this safety pay. He's going to make this safety pay for trying to take over the over. You're going to make this safety pay for watching Darren Waller. And we are going to lay it up. We're going to throw it up. And we got 58 yards to start the second half. I'm telling you, watch. This isn't even the best part about Jalen Hyatt. Actually, it kind of is because it's the biggest play. But it's going to create big, big plays for the Giants. 2 plays later, they run read option. Just want to show you. Obviously, this is the read defender for DJ. He chases. This corner's got eyes on Darren Waller. And you got green grass for my boy Daniel Jones. All right, next play. What do we got? We're back on defense. All right, here's a really bad run fit. So this is just not even a great run front to start. So you have Bobby Carriquet all the way outside of the box here, right? And that's because you don't see Pinnock, but he's off screen. Pinnock is going to blitz. You see him right there. But so then they have an over front, which is outside the 3 technique nose backside of the tight end. This is already so what this is a great check by Josh Dobbs too. Is to see this, to see that hey, Okerike's out here. They're gonna have to replace that. So what they're gonna like kind of seeing that Pinnock is gonna blitz. Let's run train away from it. Let's just run away from all that action. And we're gonna pull 2 guys. So we're gonna combo here. We're gonna kick out Jihad Ward. We're gonna have our tight end take here, and then we have space. Now, the Giants also played this horribly. I want to start with number 5, Kayvon Thibodeau. You know you have Jason Pinnock coming off the edge. Whose responsibility is the quarterback? His. You know he's coming off the edge if you know what the defense is. So what you should be doing is getting in his hip and just basically just put your hand on his belt and run with him. And that may be a tackle for a loss for Kayvon Thibodeau. But instead, we got 2 people freezing playing the quarterback. Now let's talk about Leonard Williams. You're getting kicked out the fucking club. And Leo's pass rush was better than we gave him credit for. But you just got kicked out of the fucking club, dude. Now let's talk about Deontay Banks. You got to know your run fit as a corner. And if Jihad Ward, I trust that Jihad Ward is playing this the right way. If Jihad Ward is playing the outside shoulder of this, that means you need to be inside here. Now, Mike Mckeithan is the one who I give the most credit. He played his gap. He played it fast and strong. But even this, where I talk about I don't like this front, especially when you have the back to this side, is let's just say the Giants played this correctly, right? So Jihad Ward does his job. Mckeithan does his job. And Banks gets in here and gets on the outside shoulder of 70, Paris Johnson. Well, this gap is still here. Now, that's where you say, hey, Kayvon's got to play the back. Kayvon's got to put his hand on his belt and play the back. But that sucks. That's shitty. You want to talk about you're on the backside of runs. That's shitty. All right, what do we got here? This is the interception that never was. I love this play call from Wink Martindale, by the way. I mean, this confused the shit out of Josh Dobbs. So you've got a single high safety. The Giants rotate into an inverted cover 2. Right? So you have Adoree Jackson here. Adoree Jackson bails. He's playing the deep half. You have this safety playing the deep half. Pinnock. And then you have Banks playing the flat. You know. And then you got this on the backside. And you throw a nice little blitz that Josh Dobbs isn't expecting. And Dex does a good job. You got what you want. You got Okereke here. And Okereke just tackles Zach Ertz. Let's see it from the other angle. I mean, you got Simmons coming off the edge. Watch Simmons put Paris Johnson on his ass. Bam! We got Dex jumping in the way. And again, I don't know the exact responsibility of Okereke. If it's just to, like, sit in this zone right here. But if you're in man, I mean, you kind of got to see, right? Like, he's not, if he's carrying this up the seam, you got a safety help, one, so you want to play that inside leverage and turn your hips, you know, flip your hips the other way. And you kind of know he's not running an out route. And if he does, he doesn't have the time to get there. And that's what you just don't want to do. Because I think this might have been an interception anyways. Because Dobbs had pressure. His footwork is all a mess. And maybe this isn't an interception. But it's still at least a good play. And that gets taken off the board. All right, John. First and goal again. Again, I want to point out the personnel. It's the same thing. DJ Davidson, Nacho, and Jihad Ward. Where's Dexter Lawrence and Leonard Williams? But here again, why are we getting a wide open touchdown? Why do you see this Micah McFadden and try and play underneath this? Hawkins, you're young. But you kind of got to have a feel like this is what they're going for. Like when you see this, you have inside help. You got to come out here and cover this. If you try and get a sense of what the play is, you see on the backside. I mean, it looks like they're in some type of zone, but they could be. I mean, it's hard to tell because there's so many miscommunications. Like guys don't know where they're supposed to be. You see Pinnock. But regardless, sorry, I did a little too fast forward. You got someone wide open, and I promise you that if they are in zone, right, and this is Hawkins' responsibility out here, I don't know why McFadden is doing that, which makes you think it's in man, and they get a touchdown. And let's get Dex and Leo on the field when they got first and goal at the 4. How about that? All right, back on offense. Let's have some fun. We're gonna motion Darius Slayton. And let's watch. We got Jalen Hyatt right here. Play action. Let's watch the effect that Jalen Hyatt has on players. Takes an inside track. I mean, this is good. You get his hips open towards the field. Suddenly, bam. And then watch. This corner's got his eyes on Hyatt too. And he bails. He bails. And guess what that allows Darius Slayton to do, who's got speed too? Sit. DJ's got the ball coming out of his hand already. And you get a nice play. But guess what? Let's say, we might come back to this, people, so keep an eye out. Let's say that this corner doesn't bail and open his hips and he covers Darius Slayton well, right? Well, then you throw this ball to Jalen Hyatt. So you got options when you have Jalen Hyatt on the field. It's really beautiful. Good job by DJ. Good accurate throw. Perfect timing. And you'll see it from this angle. Play action. Snap your head. He already knows. I see what they're doing. Let's get that ball out of our hand. Bam! Good timing. Good job by Slayton feeling the leverage of the defender. Get some yak. Get some yak. Good stuff. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, 3 more defensive plays before we finish with 6 offensive plays. All right, so they're in 12 personnel, 2 tight ends. Just watch the tight ends. Again, miscommunications. So they're in a basic cover 1. I didn't show the coverage from the other angle, but they're in man coverage, right? So you would think Banks is manned up here, Okereke is manned up here. But the tight ends do a switch release. So they may have had a switch coverage, right? Like, hey, switch release, switch coverage. But I don't know, because these dudes don't do no. No one knows what they're doing. So I don't know if Okereke was supposed to get in his hip and turn with him, and Banks was supposed to stay on this, or if it was a switch release and Banks should chase this. And all I know is there's tons of miscommunications on this defense. I mean, there was tons and tons. Here's a good play on the defense. Let's watch A'Shawn Robinson. Or sorry, that's Nacho. Let's watch A'Shawn Robinson take this tight end for a ride and create a tackle for a loss for Okereke. Yeah, this is doing your job, man. You got that matchup. Squeeze his ass down. That allows Okereke to fill, aggressive, and lay a freaking hit on O'Connor. Good edge set by Kayvon. You've got McKinney filling on the outside. Good stuff. Good stuff. Last defensive play. 3rd and 11. This is good. So you got 2 high. 2 high. The Giants have been kind of running, like, when they get in 3rd and long, they'll live in that cover 4 coverage we were talking about on 3rd and long. Even though you have all these guys on the line. This is cool stuff, though. So you think cover 4. Nope. They are going to blitz the nickel corner, Adore. And they're going to rotate the safeties. So McKinney's going to be center field. We're going to get into cover 3. We're going to rotate, and Pinnock's going to take this responsibility from Adore. All these guys on the line of scrimmage are going to back out. You get a 4-man rush with a couple stunts, or with a stunt. And Dobbs, and this is why, like, go after his ass, because his clock speeds up and he makes bad decisions. So he's like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just throwing it deep. And Hawkins does a great job on this. Reading this, boxing out the defender while not committing a penalty. Almost got an interception. Glad he dropped it. But good stuff. I mean, we'll see. You see Dobbs panic. Like, he doesn't know what he's looking at. Like, that safety rotates. You have the nickel blitz. And they pick it up front. They do a good job picking this up. And he just panics, though. Because, like, he's been prepping all week for these exotic Wink Martindale blitzes that just did not come that often. But anytime they did, they got good results. Like this. All right, let's get back on offense. You're going to motion Jalin Hyatt. He's going to get a running start. Watch what Jalen Hyatt does to safeties. Watch these 2 safeties. Oh, yeah. Let's get out and run. Let's not let this guy beat us again. And so, it's like that Yankee concept, right? The deep post and the over route by Darius Slayton. They're going to run that over route. That's what they want to run. And they could have done that too, by the way. But they're kind of used to these safeties playing down on it. But this is a good way to build off of it and keep teams guessing and stop from, like, these linebackers, if these linebackers got deep into their drops. So you get this corner who's got outside leverage, right? Playing that quarters coverage. Yeah, I got to sell out. I got to stop this. I don't got the safety cutting this off. Bam. Put your foot in the ground. Pop it back out. DJ puts a ball on him, rolls out. Good stuff. Now, I wanted to get the other angle of this. People were making fun of Evan Neal for this. Like, what's he doing, bro? This ain't Evan Neal's fault. This is Marcus Mckeithan. He had a lot of blitz pickup, stunt pickup stuff that was bad. Mckeithan just kind of like, okay, I'm just going to take the inside man, right? So Mckeithan needs to stay on this. But he sees this blitzer and sees, hey, JMS is on this. But you got to know. And again, he's young, so I'm not going to get on too hard first game starting. But you got to know, hey, the back's got this. Maybe it's a good job because, hey, that linebacker flies in there. Or this safety, Kayvon Wall flies in there. And DJ's able to boot up. But that's not on Neal. That's not Neal's fault. All right, down here in the red zone. We got a 3rd and goal at the 9. And Saquon Barkley gets a touchdown. I just wanted to look at and again, Saquon's route running, and especially in the red zone, can be critiqued, and it deserves it. But this was good stuff. So, DJ is reading this player, right? Because if this player bails out here and chases Slayton, you're going to throw it to Paris Campbell right here. And they actually did that later in the game on a 3rd and 6 that got them to the 4th and 1. But the linebacker sits. So, but up down bottom here, hey, you got 2 high safeties. They're going to bracket Darren Waller. They're not going to get beat on 3rd and goal. And this linebacker plays with good leverage on Saquon. But this is really good, subtle stuff from Saquon, right? So he has inside leverage, and he's ready to carry him to the sideline, right? Because he's kind of like, I have my linebacker here with some inside presence, but I have that inside leverage to stop Saquon from getting inside, but also like I'm ready to run with him to the outside. So Saquon does a good job reading this, right? So what he does to get this outside leverage, he shows, hey, I'm going to run a little angle route, right? Which freezes this linebacker. And guess what? When you get frozen, you throw your hands out, try and get physical. You miss that, pop back out. Now you've got the win. DJ gets outside the pocket, puts it on him, perfect pass, reach out, put it on the pylon. We'll see it from the other angle. This is good stuff, right? This is good stuff by DJ. Like we see this linebacker sitting. We turn to Waller. He's bracketed. Let's step up in the pocket. Let's extend the play. Perfect ball on Saquon. I mean, that's perfect. That's perfect football right there. All right, back on offense. And this is the Hyatt 31-yarder, but Slayton in motion again. And it's kind of similar to that other play, right? It's very similar to that other play, right? With Slayton in motion in that, right? So now you have this corner playing Slayton, right? Now Slayton's not running the same exact route. He's running a dig. But hey, he's playing Slayton like he's supposed to. But guess what? That panics this corner and this safety. And they both have their hips turned, right? Because they don't want to get beat on the post. They don't want to get beat on the post again. And it's beautiful by Hyatt to see, hey, guess what? He's opened his hips to the inside. Bam. Pop out. Accelerate. Ball's there. We go up. High point it. Make the catch. And hey, with Hyatt, man, DJ's got to be quick with this, right? Because Hyatt is so fast that you just got to be quick with this. And just good timing. I know the ball like seems kind of a little late, but you can't really throw this right here. You got to throw it here. This is good stuff. See it from the other angle. I mean, DJ's throwing from, middle of the field. Clean pocket, play action. Bam, go high point it. Good stuff. Good freaking stuff. Here's the Isaiah Hodgins touchdown. This is 2nd and goal at the 11, man. You got it like, hey, we're trying to tie the game up. You motion Saquon Barkley out. So they're in this 2 high coverage. You think they're in zone, they play zone. So they motion Saquon out. But it looks like they're playing man, right? Because he leaves this and goes and falls underneath, and it looks like they switch responsibilities, right? Where he's going to pick up Hodgins being man, and he's going to play Saquon, right? So, like, good disguise by Arizona. And then on this side, you've got Waller on the post. But, again, they're bracketing Waller. They want to defend Waller. You got defender here, defender here. So this is just great eyes. This is great route running. This is like the gravitational pull of Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley has a choice route, and they know this. They know this. They just got beat on a touchdown on the choice route by Saquon Barkley. So they bracket Saquon. Hey, if you go out, I'm here. You go in, I'm here. We're not getting beat on that shit again. And what happens with that is you have this corner outside leverage. Hodgins slows plays, plant, burst. DJ keeps this linebacker honest by looking at Saquon and put it on the freaking money. This is cool stuff, man. Again, we're seeing, okay, we probably got some bracketing going right here, but we're gonna at least check it to see, right? Make sure this linebacker doesn't do anything funky. Right? Like if this line, and they do some cool stuff with their linebacker. So if this linebacker float over here, okay, we're gonna hit Waller on the post. He doesn't. DJ's got eyes on Saquon. Controlling this linebacker, right? Eyes on Saquon. And then you see that little head turn. Bam. Feet planted in the ground. Good footwork. Line it up. Touchdown, Giants. They tie up the freaking game. Here, this is just great timing. We're going to run a deep curl to Darius Slayton. Man coverage. This is just really good stuff from Slayton. So he wants to get that inside leverage. See, watch this foot. Bam. And it gets the corner to step out here. Good job using your hands to, bam, get that off. And then get your track back outside to stack this corner. And show outside, right? Get him working his leverage outside. Sit on it. I mean, there's the ball right there. Fires it in there. Good catch. We'll see it from the other. I mean, that's just really good stuff by Slayton, making the catch. We'll see from DJ. Again, we're watching this safety. Okay, that safety's gone. I got my guy. I'm throwing it now. Great ball placement to keep it on the inside, to keep it away from this corner. Great catch by Slayton. Good stuff. And then the Saquon Barkley run that put him in field goal range and end the game. We got nothing. We're going to spin. I mean, this is like Saquon, like, okay, I'm making a play here. Like, the passing game's been all this fun. I want to make a play in the run game. Spin out of it. I mean, this guy's coming and crashing in at his legs. Getting off of that. Get off me. And hey, he didn't even go down. Like, he stayed up. You know? So, really good stuff from the Giants. And a very nice win by them. I'm excited to do it. Quick turnaround for the 49ers. Obviously, a much, much better team. Glad they got the win, even though it was ugly, especially on the defensive side. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Like and subscribe. I know it was a long one, but this was really fun to do. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what you think. And we'll see you on the next one. Let's go Big Blue.